You're listening to Rock, Pop, and Roll.
Doobie Brothers from their very first album. Called It Won't Be Right. How you doing? It's Rob. Rock, Pop, and Roll. Today, what are we doing today, people? We are doing a first listen to the Doobie Brothers and their brand new album. They got a new album out. And I haven't heard it yet. We're gonna dig into it. Walk This Road is the name of the album. Is it any good? Where are the Doobie Brothers now? Wait, does it still sound good? Take a listen together, alright? Rock, Pop, and Roll first listen day. First, a little bit of history of the Doobie Brothers. Right? So that was their first album, was 1971. This is Rockin' Down the Highway off the second album, was not a single, but man, one of the iconic tunes of classic rock radio. Off of that second album. So what was the hit off that second album? This was their first top 20 hit. It was number 11. They had two singles on this album. Put them on the road to where they were going, man. A little 70s rock success. Listen to the music, and the other single was top 40. Went to number 35. The harmonies, man, the harmonies of the Doobie Brothers. Jesus Is Just All Right. And so they had an album every year. They had an album every year from like 1971 until all the way through the 70s. I think they skipped a year. They went 71, 72, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They skipped 1978 and added Michael McDonald at some point there in the late 70s. Third album. This was not the big hit off of the third album, but it's kind of their signature. It's the one I think is their signature song. The one that I think I like this best out of their catalog. So we're to number 15, China Grove.
This is Rock, Pop, and Roll.
That was on the Captain and Me. What was the big hit though? This was the top 10 hit. Went to number 8. Long Train Running. So they had the rock, the power chord side, and then they had this little funky side. That's the Doobie Brothers, the duality of that. Alright, so that was their last top 20 hit until they had BlackWater. BlackWater was their only number one hit, 1974. I'm looking just to make sure. No, they had one more number one hit. I thought they did. That came later. This was the first number one hit. Now that's true. BlackWater. Everybody loves the harmonies and the singing. But it's It's not it's electric, but it's a lot of acoustic instruments.
By the hand, take me by the hand, pretty mama, come and dance with your daddy all night long.
I'd like to hear some funky Dixieland, pretty mama, come and take me by the hand.
By the hand, take me by the hand, pretty mama, come and dance with your daddy.
There you go. That's the Doobies, man.
I'd like to hear some funky Dixieland, pretty mama, come and take me by the hand.
The music fades back in, right? Top 20 went to number 11 off the next album, Stampede. Take Me in Your Arms. Rock Me. That was number 11, and then a guy named Michael McDonald came into the fold. Taking It to the Streets was the album. This was the title cut. This went to number 13. Different sound.
You don't know me, but I'm your brother.
And they would live with that sound for the next 3 or 4 years. Not live with it, but that became Michael McDonald. You talk about a guy coming in and imprinting upon a band. I don't know that anybody did it more than Michael McDonald did it.
Wherever people live together.
Living on the Fault Line was this album. Kind of landed with a thud. Didn't really have a hit. No top 40 hits. I like this one, though. You Belong to Me.
Why'd you tell me this? While you look for my reaction. What do you need to know? Don't you know?
So they had to rebound from that. And they did. This was their second number one. I told you they had 2 number ones. This was number 1 off Minute by Minute. What a Fool Believes.
He came from somewhere back in how long ago. The sound of the fool.
Yep. And then Minute by Minute was a top 20. Dependent on You was top 30. And then they had one more top 5 hit. Went to number 5 off the next album. Kind of forget about this one. 1980 and Real Love. Here's your Doobie Brothers history. Kinda. Mostly. Hitting and missing. Giving you a taste of the eras, because we're going to listen to the new album, and what's it sound like? Does it harken back to that era? We'll find out on Rock, Pop, and Roll. Hang on, here we go. I got one more little story. I saw the Doobie Brothers live. I saw them back in 1989, 1990. So the album, the album Cycles, with the song called The Doctor, came out. This was The Doctor. So they were gone for, 7 years. And then came back, and this became a top 10 hit. It was number 1 on rock radio. Because they went back to their old sound and embraced it. And it worked for them. One of the great comebacks in classic rock history. Doobie Brothers, 10 years later. The Doctor. Let me get to a chorus. So I saw the Doobie Brothers. Good chorus. So I saw them back in 1980, whatever that was, 89 or 90. And they were at, it's called Louisville Gardens. So it was downtown. It was an old arena, but it didn't, I don't know how many that thing seated. 6,000, 7,000, I'd have to look that up. But small. I had seen REM. The first time I went there, I saw REM. Didn't have a ticket. Had just moved to southern Indiana down to Madison, and REM was on, it was the Green album, and they were on that tour. And I hadn't seen him. I don't know that I'd been to Louisville before. I had just moved there across the river it was in Indiana. And so I went to see REM, bought a ticket off of a guy and a girl. They had an extra ticket. I bought that extra ticket and then ended up sitting by him at the concert because that's what happened. And so I saw REM there, but then I saw the Doobie Brothers on this tour, and they were with the Rainmakers. Great Kansas City band. Bob Walkenhorst, lead singer, loved the Rainmakers. Actually liked the Rainmakers as much as I liked the Doobies that night. The Doobie Brothers were good. You know, however old they were then, mid-40s, and they brought the rock that night, and it was good. But I remember, man, I loved the Rainmakers. The good news and the bad news was the album. I had talked about this, Jonathan Rundman and I, on an earlier podcast. If you want to listen to that conversation with Jonathan, great Minnesota musician with a brand new album called Waves. He and I talked about our love of the Rainmakers. So the Rainmakers opened for the Doobie Brothers that night. And it was a good night. My friend Patrick Tilley and Patrick was doing mornings at WORX. I think I was doing a Sunday night deep cut album show. You know, and so we said let's go see the we got tickets. I think we bought them from a listener to the radio station who couldn't go, and she had called in and said, "Hey, I got 2 tickets to sell." And I said, "You want to go?" And he said, "Yeah." So we went. That's my Doobie Brothers story of seeing them. So let's go first listen. Let me get back to my playlist of the new album, Walk This Road. Rock, pop, and roll. Glad you're along. Glad you're listening. Glad you've been hanging with me for however long you've been hanging with me. Thanks, friends. Thanks, people. Can't do it. I could do this without you, but it wouldn't be nearly as much fun. All right, let's go. Let's do it. This is called Young Man's Game. This was an album that the Doobie Brothers released, I think, in 2011. So they've been putting some stuff out, mostly live material they've been putting out. Let's go to the first listen. This first cut off Walk This Road. It's 10 cuts. Haven't heard it. May stop, may start. See what we think. Is it any good? This is produced by a guy named John Shanks, who produced every track, co-wrote every track. First album with Michael McDonald in about 40 years. John Shanks. I knew John Shanks. He played in Melissa Etheridge's band in the late 80s. I think I saw them live in the late 80s, but I knew he was doing some production with Melissa. I still love Melissa Etheridge's work and her sound and her passion. And he was in her band. He has been a touring member of Bon Jovi for a while. He co-wrote Sheryl Crow, had a great single. Let me see if I can find that. Back in 2002, it's called Steve McQueen. And John Shanks co-wrote this off the Come On album.
Well, I went to bed in Memphis and I woke
That's a great
up
cut.
in
I love this
Hollywood.
Cheryl version song.
I got a quarter in my pocket and I call you
I love
if
Cheryl.
could,
I love
but I don't
the
know
rock.
why.
Talking about passion and
Better
a bit of integrity, I think that Cheryl brings.
rock and roll this
Done it for a long time. Great. I love it. This is a good song.
I wanna leave you feeling breathless.
Let's see if I can find a chorus here. Right here. I didn't get it. There you go. Steve Sheryl Crow. So Shanks co-wrote that. He also co-wrote. I find this back when Keith Urban was figuring out his game and what he was going to sound like. This was co-written with John Shanks. The first cut off of an album called Golden Road, also from 2002. It's called Somebody Like You.
There's a new wind blowing like I've never known. I'm breathing.
You can get to a chorus for him.
When you put your arms around me, you let me know there's nothing in this world I can't do. I used to
Keith Urban can play guitar too. I like that stuff. I like the Keith Urban was figuring stuff out here, and then he figured out what it was he was going to sound like, and he sounded like a little more hyper produced in his later career. He's got a new album out though, right? Keith Urban does. I think so. It's called High. What's it called? Is it called High? And the album is called High 2024. He released it. That's what this is. See, this is what Keith Urban sounds like now. And all Keith Urban stuff kind of sounds alike. But I still like it. That's the new Keith Urban. You didn't know you were going to hear that tonight, did you? Anyway, it's First Listen from the Doobie Brothers, the album Walk This Road.
This is rock, pop, and roll.
Michael McDonald, Tom Johnston, John McPhee, Patrick Simmons, all recording this. Mavis Staples plays on the first cut. It's called Walk This Road. Here we go. First listen. What do we think about the Doobies?
Walk this road with me, and we'll see just where it goes.
Michael McDonald.
Long as we're together, it'll always take us home. What will be. The path will lead us.
Michael, I think Michael sounds good. I think that groove is good. I want to hear Mavis, or I want to hear some background vocals. That's what I want to hear.
Walk this road with me. Walk this road with me.
No gospel, of course, Mavis.
Now we all want the same thing. It's high time we realize.
Bring it, Mavis.
Till we come together, we're never gonna say a lie.
Yeah, that's good. She's 85. She'll be 86 years old. Mavis Staples will be this summer. Come on.
When we stand for each other, we stand for ourselves, and that's when we'll finally be free. Walk this road with me.
There's your first cut. I say thumbs up on the first cut.
This road with me.
Bring the gospel. The Staples singers, man.
You gotta walk this road with me.
Michael McDonald sounds good, huh? I think. Second cut is Angels and Mercy. Doobie Brothers, first listen.
Hound dog moans as the sun's going down. Who will save my soul when it's crying out? Devil's at my door, won't you leave me alone? How long do I have to keep on running for? Angels and mercy.
The guitar comes in, the chorus comes in. Doobie Brothers have always done a nice job of building up to the chorus. Man, they always have a nice hook, a nice payoff in that chorus.
Please won't you teach me
not a single. That's an album. Reminds me of older Doobie Brothers. Call Me is the third cut. Call Me. See where we go.
When I see you, I'm up. When I don't, I get down. Life's a little better having you around. It gets better with time, and that makes me smile. So come on, baby, sit with me a while.
50s vibe.
Hold my head up, let your light shine on me.
60s. Horns. Bring the horns in, damn it. Yeah.
Open the door, good things start to begin. Oh, darling, call me when you need some help. Call me when you need a friend. Yeah, it's alright.
Some Stax and Muscle Shoals vibe. Reminds me of Henry Lee Summer. You remember Henry Lee Summer? Wish I Had a Girl. Hey Baby. He mined that 60s soul era vibe for his stuff when he was big in this, and for his couple of albums, like late 80s, early 90s.
Black and white movies and the news it vibe.
That's a winner. That's a winner. That's a thumbs up. 2 thumbs up.
Hold my head up.
For Call Me. I'd listen to that thing again. And this is cut 4. This is Learn to Let Go. Uh-oh, it sounds like we're going to get a little more Michael McDonald again. Oh, yeah.
When you look back on love and how it came to an end, you think you'll never want to
You could drop
anything
that thing into 1978. You could drop that into an album in 78 and it would sound like it fit.
Cause when it feels so good, it's hard to see the writing on the wall. Flying high on love only makes for a longer fall. But you gotta keep on trying.
Little strings in it. Got some strings. Or fake
Till
strings.
the memory sets you free. When you lose that love,
Yeah, minute by minute.
this world
That album, that would work on that album, wouldn't it?
gonna keep on hurting till you learn to let go, baby.
I'll tell you what, they're not stupid. Because what they're doing, so they went back and they're calling back to their old sounds without completely ripping them off. That's what you gotta do. You have to remind people of why they loved you. And then give them something new. It's a fine line. This is called State of Grace. The new Doobie Brothers album, Walk This Road.
I've been down this old road so many times. Don't know how I could have missed so many signs of who I thought I was and who I'm supposed to be. I've wasted all of my life living on the memories. They say every question has an answer.
And the production on this whole thing sounds good. I'll say that now halfway through the album. John Shanks does a nice job. Clean and clear and punchy.
Help me find my way. Lead me to a state of grace.
Just a pretty song. It's a pretty song. A little that big guitar in there. The little licks that the Doobies play. That make it great.
I've been hanging out in this old neighborhood.
See what they do at the end.
Question, help me find my way. Something to embrace.
Bring a little Michael McDonald up in the mix.
Faith that leads me to a state of grace.
State of Grace, all right? Cut 6. This is called Here to Stay.
Yeah, I'm riding wild horses. Grab the reins.
So they bring the harmonies, and then they bring the gut bucket, a little more rock and roll. The chorus.
Welcome to the spotlight.
You know, not gut bucket might not be the right word, but it, you know, the guitars dig a little bit harder, the electric guitars.
There's so much to be said. Oh, baby, I'm lost inside a daydream.
They lope along too, man. They just lope, bum, 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 and then jump into a chorus. That's what I want to hear them do. Where are we going? How are we going to bring it up a level? Because the Doobie Brothers do that as well as anybody.
You should know, here's the reason why. You're riding wild horses. Grab the reins and fly away. Lost in rock and roll heaven. And you know that it's here to stay. Came so close to losing.
Gives me the China Grove, right?
I almost said goodbye.
See if they do a guitar solo at the end. Middle. They do. Because you gotta have, because the Doobie Brothers album has to rock a little bit. Can't be all funk and bongos and Michael McDonald. There you go, here you stay. It's another thumbs up. Oh, a little reggae. Or not.
Run, baby, run. Run as fast as you can.
Just more Michael McDonald funk is not so much reggae.
Seem like the only kind of love you want is the kind that you can't have.
A little more South New Orleans.
Well, long as you don't fool yourself and go thinking that he's your man. Oh, no, baby. Hey, you see, got the kind of love hotter than the sun. More like a comet across the sky. Burning hot and
Little feet. Kate neck. You know, little feet. Leave it there. Just that. Doom. New Orleans. And the kind that lasts. New Orleans is actually the name of the next cut. This is called New Orleans. Swampy, a CCR. I hear Fogerty there. You hear that, Fogerty?
Mississippi River is calling me in the heat of a Cajun night. A funky guitar laid down by the meters, bring the city streets to life.
Laid down by the Meters. The Meters, a great New Orleans band.
Marching down Bourbon Street, world is rocking to a second line beat. We all live in the dream down in New Orleans.
That's fun. That's good. That's the old Doobie sound. Do you listen to the album again? That's the question we all ask at the end. Are we going to listen to this thing again? You know, I did with the John Cafferty album. Go back and listen to it again after we did a first listen, and it was rewarded me. You know, because there's so many things that we can listen to that sometimes you have to commit to something. And what are you going to commit to? Because I can listen to podcasts, or I could listen to anything I want on Spotify. I can find anything. You know, the new Springsteen tracks too, I need to listen to all 7 albums. You know, you have to commit to listening to something. And that's the word, right? You have to commit to it. Am I going to listen to the Doobie Brothers again and turn off the noises in my head and listen to it again and let more of that seep in? Because with Cafferty, it worked. And with the Doobie Brothers, I think I would. But that's the question we ask. track 9. Speed of Pain. A pretty ballerina sound to it.
My friend Manny would always say, I only learn anything at the speed of pain. How looking back, he had no regrets. No doubt there's still some hard lessons, but what I think he meant, not too long is love.
Again, it's the Michael McDonald, that classic sound. They put another one on here.
From the lessons
But Michael McDonald is going to sound like Michael McDonald. I mean, he does some background vocals where he's not so front and center with that electric keyboard. But he's got a great shouter, and I love that voice. Wherever that voice is coming from in his body, in his throat. Deeper? Where's that magic coming from? All right, Speed of Pain. That was 9, and we are to track 10. And this is a bit of an outlier. This is Lahaina, I think is how it's pronounced. Mick Fleetwood plays on this.
A beautiful dream I'm trying to remember. Underneath the banyan tree, our love
It sounds like, and I don't think on Wikipedia it said John Shanks produced tracks 1 through 9, and this is track 10. So this sounds like a little different production, not quite as crisp and hitting.
It calls to me, Lahaina. Carry me back home. It's calling me, Lahaina. Carry me home.
I like the sound of the other stuff better. I know Mick Fleetwood's on it. This song is 4 minutes and 17 seconds. So they're going to have a little noodling in here. There's going to have to be some interludes to get this to more than 4 minutes. And I think we're in one of those interludes. There you go. There's your first listen. We did it. The Doobie Brothers will walk this road. What do you think? What do you think? What's your is that a good one? Is that what do you in the Doobie Brothers as it's 2025? You take that into account. You take into account the four of them haven't made an album together in 40 years. What's it sound like? How's the songwriting? How's the vibe? Does it make you feel, make you move a little bit? I think it's a good album. I don't know that it's a great album. I don't think you expect a great album in 2025, but I would go back and listen to this thing again. So there you go. I'd listen to that at least a second time to see if I can pick out, a couple of cuts that might be my favorite that call me. I like that Call Me. This one. I like that. There's others on there. I like the Michael McDonald. I like this the kind that lasts. A little funky, a little groove. All right. Hey, thanks for listening. If you want to find all the old podcasts, find anything that we've done before, it's RockPopandRoll.com. That's where we have all the stuff, all the old episodes. If you want to find out how to email us, that information is there. It's RockPopRollPodcast@gmail.com. You have a suggestion for a show. Is there something that you think that would be cool for us to dive into a little bit? That kind of thing. Feel free to drop me a line. Drop me an email. It's all good. We're all in the big old rock, pop, and roll circle here. circle of rock music together. There's your walking orders, people. There's the walking orders. Go ahead. Get in contact. If you want to leave a 5-star review, we love that too. I think that helps. Somebody says it helps the algorithms. I believe them. You gotta believe them. People say it. You read it on the web. Get us out of here on Rock, Pop, and Roll. Yeah, just diving around a couple of albums. If you're looking for a Doobie Brothers album that you might have missed, Rockin' Down the Highway, the Wildlife Concert, back from the mid-90s, is a good one. Well recorded, nice little set list. BlackWater's on there. You know, they got the hits on there. To dive back into that, there's an album that we didn't touch on from 91 that had a song that got some radio airplay called Dangerous from the Doobies. So if you want to dive a little deeper, from one of their late era albums. This is their last studio album until 2010. They did World Gone Crazy. And they've got some live albums. Live at Wolf Trap. Live at the Beacon Theater. They had a 2021 album they worked with John Shanks on called Liberté. A couple of deep tracks. There's a little Doobie Brothers from 91, Dangerous. To get us out of here, though, let's go back to that Liberté album from 2021. Now, Michael McDonald wasn't with them for this. They brought him back for this most recent album.
Sitting in a room, so lost and lonely.
And I want to get out with a little of that gospel Doobie Brothers. You've been around for first album 71, so what's that, 54 years? Sound pretty damn good for being in the game that long.
So pick me up. I can't hold out.
So take care of each other. Be kind
So let my heart be
to each other.
while horses run free.
And be safe, please. So you can come back here and visit us next time on Rock, Pop, and Roll.
Gotta let go of what I believe. Let me up so I can see. Shine your light on me. Shine your light on me. Shine your light down on me. Shine your light.
Unearthing the rebellious, the greasy, the gratuitous, the great rock and roll of your mind.
Unfiltered.
I never lost 1 minute of sleeping, worrying about the way that things might have been.